the passenger name records use by Customs and Border Protection, I think, is a really good example both of being an effective border security measure, but also having very robust privacy protection. We are indeed applying the privacy protections that are detailed not just in the 2007 EU-US PNR agreement, but also what's required in our own laws to make sure. Several of you may be privacy or data protection experts here in the room, and the concepts of data minimalization, purpose limitation, use and scope and retention are elements where we have commonality with the European Union and are very important principles for my office for how we embed privacy into each and every one of the department's programs. And what we try to do is, which is a little bit different than the EU system, is work with the operators like Tom to make sure that the privacy is implemented throughout the whole life cycle of the program. Not just a review after the fact, but instead to go and put the protections in ahead of time and then to do periodic review, which I'll talk about briefly. And an important element of the US system is transparency. And so all of my reviews and all of my analyses are on my website, dhs.gov/privacy. And so check it out. In fact, we have 2 reviews of PNR that we did that we made public. And that was in preparation for what became the February 2010 PNR review that took place between the European Union and the United States, including members from the Commission, members from DPAs, as well as member states that did the review together.
I want to also emphasize that the U.S. has a very strong and long tradition of protecting privacy and data. There are volumes written not only about how our Constitution, as you know, the Fourth Amendment, protects against unreasonable searches and seizures, but the myriad of sectoral laws that we have in the United States that promote transparency, access to information, as well as data security, ensuring that data that we hold, particularly electronic data, are well protected.
Brooks asked me about whether or not whether privacy was just part of the implementation process, or was there a privacy by design. Every day, I think privacy by design is the type of thing that we try to do at the Department of Homeland Security. It certainly is a very popular word in Europe these days. It is certainly something that the department tries to incorporate. I don't use the phrase as much as the Europeans or perhaps the Canadians do, but I think it's exactly what I try to do every day, is to have not just the procedural elements, but actually incorporate both from a technological perspective as well as the rules and role-based access elements, auditing and review processes to make sure that indeed the design that was initially implemented is one that travels throughout the life cycle of the system and notice.